Alright, so we're ready to get rolling. We just completed our step 400-0 and we're on our 400-0 branch, and we have a couple things that we need to do. So the first and foremost thing that we need to do at this point in time is we need to run a git status. Just make sure we're still clean, and we are. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to do a git push I'm having a hard time spelling origin here. Origin and 400-0. So what we're doing by this is we're telling Git we're inside our 400-0 branch. We're saying that we want to push to the origin, which is the address of our 400xx repo, and we want to push this branch up. We currently don't have that branch there at the moment. The only branch we have is master, and we want to keep track of our branches and what's going on. And so the best way to do that is for us to actually just go ahead and push that branch up and keep it separate from everything else for now until we get much better, and then we can dispose of branches when it makes sense. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to push this up. It's going to prompt me for my username. I do not have my global set. And then my password. And you won't see me typing in my password, but I am. And we can see that it's pushing up. And actually in the background we could actually see GitHub update. And we can see that it brought up my branch. And it didn't refresh this list though. That's funny. Now we can see with this list, when I switch branches, we can see that the 400 is up there. Everything that we've done with 400 is up there. If I go to master, we can see we don't have the assets folder, and the things are somewhat different. Again, if I go into my 400, we can see, and master. So awesome. So while we're out here on our browser, let's go ahead and let's take a look, and we can minimize console at this point, kind of get it out of the way. And what we really want to see is console in case there's any errors. And we'll do an empty cache and reload, and that looks great. And we'll look at our 4xx subdomain site, and we'll see that that's not out there. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we are going to do a merge to master. If I pull up Dreamweaver in the background, I'll do that for a reason, because we can actually watch when we merge. When we switch to master, we'll see these files change, and then when we merge, we'll actually see these files come back in. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out master. So git checkout master, and I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to go ahead and run a git status of master. We're clean. If we look over here at Dreamweaver, you see the file system actually has updated, and that's all that's in master. And at this point, again, remember, now on our local host, if we come out, because we have master checkout, that's all we're going to see. We're going to see exactly what we have up on production. So at this point, what we want to do is we want to bring the work that we did in our 400-0 branch into the master branch. And the way we do that is we do git merge and then 400-0. And what that'll do is that'll just basically bring the two together and bring the files in. And we'll actually see in Dreamweaver it update. We'll go out, we'll look at localhost. Localhost will be back to the work that we completed. So let's go ahead and do that. We can see that there were 52 changes inside of the app.js file, 22 inside the HTML, 68 insertions, 8 deletions. So at this point, if we run a git status real quick, all is well. If we look at our Dreamweaver, we should actually see, we refresh our local files, we see that it brought in those files that we worked with. If we go out and we look at localhost, oh, that's the live site, sorry, that's our production site. Local host, and we empty cache, we see that we're bringing in the merge. And so at this point, we actually are really good. The next step that we want to do before we go ahead and push it to production is we're going to go ahead and we're going to push it out to our GitHub. We're going to update our master branch out on GitHub. What that'll do, a good sure sign of if that works is if we look at our GitHub pages and we refresh, we see where we are now. And once we push up, we should be good in GitHub. But before we do that, we want to go into our readme file. Right now we're inside, and we're inside our master branch. And what we want to do in our readme file is we want to open with Dreamweaver. And inside of here, we want to kind of keep like a running dialogue. Of the things that happen as our code evolves. And what we would call this in the professional world is a manifest. And what a manifest does is it tracks changes, provides information to those changes, resources, locations, names, all kinds of information. For us, right now, all we're going to do is, just try to keep some information in here about what we did. And so we'll put added base code to index.html and added initial JavaScript to app.js page. Good enough for what we're doing, and we're going to save it. We're going to close it. We're not worried about being on that other branch, although we could start doing it there. We're just doing it here for now. And what we're going to do is git status. We're going to see that our README file changed. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add that, and we want to commit it. And the commit that we're going to do now is basically saying that we're going to push our merge that we just did to production and up to GitHub. So I'm just updating this comment that I have, merge 400-0 branch into master and pushing to production. So I'm going to commit that. And then what I'm going to do is push it out to my GitHub. Git push origin master username password and it looks like we had a good push. So if I come up here now and I just kind of refresh, we can see we have a new commit 400, the comment that we added in there, and also because we have GitHub pages pointed to the master branch, if we refresh this, we should get our code, which we do. So at this point, that looks great. This looks great. Our local, we'll go ahead and refresh that one more time. That looks great. So last thing left to do is go to production. The way we're going to do that is, since we don't have too many files, we're going to just peek at production real quick from Dreamweaver. We see we just have our index and our README. We on our local, we have everything. And so what we're going to do is right click and synchronize. It's going to ask us what we want to synchronize. We're going to say entire site, get put. We're going to say delete remote files not on local drive. We don't really need to bring any files down. There are none up there for us to bring down, so it's just saying it's going to push these 3 files up for us. So we'll go ahead and say OK. Our push to production is complete. If we go out and we look at our production site now, we see that we have everything in there. Awesome. So that completes our merge, and everything is up to date. We're sitting on the master branch, and so now when we move into step 401, we'll create a new branch then. But for now, we'll see you next time.